Howdy, everybody. Today we have some severe weather coverage for the enhanced risk down south in parts of Louisiana, Texas, and Mississippi. Right now we've got two tornado warnings, both in eastern Texas. The first one, I'll just read it off here. Tornado warning remains in effect till 3:30 p.m. Central Time for northwestern Tyler County. A severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located over Chester, moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. The hazardous tornado and quarter-sized tail. This is currently just radar indicated, so it's not been confirmed yet. But take cover now. Get in at least an interior room, if not a basement. And the other one, tornado remains, or the tornado warning for northwestern, actually I don't know how to pronounce that. San something County is canceled because it has moved out of the area. So there appears to only be those two. There are a couple severe thunderstorm warnings down near New Orleans, near Morgan City, and then another one back near Point Blank, Onalaska, and Livingston. So right now we're kind of in a bit of a radar hole. We're too far away from Houston's radar or Shreveport's radar. So I believe unless this might just be, yeah. Okay, so that's not what we want. So those are moving to the northeast at 45 miles an hour. If you're in Rockland, Zavala, Broadus, or Brookland, you need to keep an eye on the storm. If you're a little farther out towards, what highway is that? Don't mind me looking like an idiot here. I'll pull that up in a second. But if you're on any of these major roads, pull over and get shelter. Preferably not a weak structure. If you're in a trailer or motorhome, it would be safer to evacuate and move to sturdy structure. The main risk will actually not happen until later into the evening, into tonight. That's when it looks like it's going to be the worst. Hi, Famous. But once it starts getting into tonight, that's when the risk is really going to ramp up. Multiple tornadoes are likely. Damaging wind and hail are all possible, if not likely. The highest risk does appear to be wind, with a significant risk in the south of Louisiana into Mississippi. There was a tornado report back near Shepherd, south of Cold Spring, but that tornado appears to have lifted about 20-ish minutes ago. So I'm gonna see. We might be too far away to get accurate readings with radar, but I'll still want to look. Try to change the tilt here. Yeah, we're too far away from it, I think. But I mean, you can still kind of see the rotation northeast of Chester, moving towards Rockland. I wouldn't be surprised if this was canceled here in the next 20 or so minutes. It's just really hard here with the radar gap because Shreveport radar is not any better at all. Yeah, actually, I think Shreveport's down. I do know for a fact, though, that what's the radar? Sorry. Radar over here, I can't remember what it's called, is down, which is just perfect considering that's where the main risk is for tonight. Right now, it's just a lot of rain and some thunderstorms, but So let's go take a look at some of this over. We have to use Lake Charles radar. There are two. It's taking forever to download. There it goes. All right. So there's a cluster of storms in Morgan City, Franklin, Thibodaux, Napoleonville, White Castle. These are all south of Baton Rouge, southeast of Lafayette, and a decent bit away from New Orleans. I'd say, oh, actually we can measure that. What is that, 200? Not 200, more like 150 miles to the west of New Orleans. The New Orleans, you do need to prepare for tonight because the storm will be slowly moving in the general vicinity of New Orleans. The hazards for these storms: 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, quarter-sized hail. If you're in, oh, hold on. Yeah, they're both 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. If you're anywhere, Pierre Par, Supreme, Napoleonville, if you're anywhere in those areas, Morgan City, you should be out of it within the next 10 to 15 minutes. Garden City, another 20 minutes. But if you're anywhere to the northeast, so White Castle, Donaldsonville, I think to the south, I think Baton Rouge, it should go to your south and east. But Baton Rouge, still keep an eye on this. Basically, Baton Rouge and south needs to be cautious with the storm. But as I said, the worst stuff will happen later on tonight, especially into the late evening and overnight hours. That does appear to be the worst. Tornadoes will be likely. These are just kind of the prefrontals. But just this really right here is just in such a bad spot for radar. I mean, it's too far away from any radar really to get a good look at it. Guess we can try Shreveport again. Shreveport might be down. I'm not sure. It must be, considering it's not loading in for me. Either it's down or this could be something on my end. This program is very, I don't know, finicky is the word. Ooh, what radar is this? Alexandria radar. That's it's a little better, but it's still not ideal. If you're anywhere north of Alexandria, it's just some storms for now. You do appear to be in less of a risk. Alexandria North, Vicksburg, Shreveport, they all should be fine for now. These storms still, I mean, if they hold strength, they could get up here. But really, if you're Alexandrian south, I'd be worried. Still keep an eye out if you're to the north, but you won't have as much to deal with. But especially if you're in New Orleans, Lake Charles, Lafayette, that was Baton Rouge, you really want to keep an eye out on these tonight because these will be very powerful storms. Gulfport, Biloxi, if you're east of Biloxi, you should be okay for tonight. You will have some storms tomorrow, and the Panhandle, south of Alabama, western Georgia, tomorrow will be dealing with quite the risk as well. But at the moment, they're really... Oh, wait. Okay, I think we have an extension of that tornado warning. National Weather Service in Shreveport has issued a tornado warning for southeastern Angelina County in eastern Texas, southeastern San Augustine County in eastern Texas, southwestern Sabine County in eastern Texas, until 3:45 p.m. At 3:19 p.m. Central Standard Time, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 7 miles northeast of Chester, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. Still radar indicated, so there's nothing confirmed and no spotter reports at the moment. Luckily, this should remain over rural areas of Angelina, St. Augustine, and Sabine counties. But if you're along Highway, what is that, 34? Pineland, Brookland, Browndale, and Bronson need to look out eventually, but the storm isn't moving incredibly fast. So you still have probably 45 minutes to an hour. Other than that, it should just be rain. Pineland, these aren't severe over here. These are just showers and light thunderstorms. Then, as I stated earlier, that other tornado warning storm near Corrigan, the warning was allowed to expire, as it does appear to be on a weakening trend. At the moment, everything else just appears to be scattered thunderstorms, unless you're down near Morgan City into the northern sections, because those storms are still there, but they are moving out of the area. But if you're in Donaldsonville, Napoleonville, I would still be aware of this, because this still could pack a punch with quarter-sized hail and some damaging winds upwards of 60 to 70 miles per hour. And there are still storms off to the west of Houston, east of San Antonio. Just kind of a line here. Some of these do seem to be packing a bit of a punch. This line here in Hallettsville County, Columbus County. So if you're in Houston, should be fine, but to the portion south and west, Bay City, El Campo, Wharton, Edna, do need to be keeping an eye on these storms, because they could pack a bit of a punch with some damaging winds and dime to quarter-sized hail. And this line will continue to go to the east, north and east almost. And through Houston into portions of Louisiana. Is that? No, that's just my. Okay. Let's go check on these storms near Wiggins County in Mississippi. Near Hattiesburg, to the east of Hattiesburg. Up to the south, actually. Okay. Odd warning box here. A storm to the... Let's just pull it up here. National Weather Service in Mobile has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for northwestern Perry County, southwestern Wayne County, northeastern Greene County in southern Mississippi. At 3:24 p.m. at Central Time, a severe thunderstorm was located near Maxey, or 8 miles northwest of Wiggins, moving northeast at 60 miles an hour. The hazards are quarter-sized hail at the moment, so it does not appear the wind. Meteorologists do not believe winds is the biggest threat with this. They do have quite the large warning box running from east of Hattiesburg near McCollum, up north to Richton, and into Waynesboro County, I believe. But the storm does appear to be packing quite the punch with this hail. The hail does appear to be quite heavy, showing up as black on my reflectivity radar. We should be getting a new update here in a few seconds. Let's actually get a 3D of that to see if you can see that hail core in it. Looks to be about 20,000 feet up, I believe. Yeah, let me get a little bit better section of it right there. Yeah, that's quite the hail core, about 20,000 feet up. So it's gonna be pretty cold up there. Shoot. You can kind of see. No, hold on. That's not. One of the severe thunderstorm warnings south of Baton Rouge was allowed to expire, but there was a new one issued for Napoleonville, Supreme, and Welcome, Louisiana. One thing that's always crazy with this severe weather coverage is just the names of towns. It's so interesting. Welcome, Mississippi. I mean, I'm hoping the people are welcoming, but you never know. So we still have that tornado warning west of Pineland, south of Zavala, and north of Rockland. Let me actually see if Lake Charles radar gets it a little better than this. I think that's a lot better now. Now, according to Spotter Network, there are no spotters at least chasing the storm. There is a spotter in the town of Jasper to the south and east of the storm. But again, this thing's moving relatively fast. Let me. Still just radar indicated at the moment. Let's see what velocity has to say. Yeah, you can definitely see the rotation right in here. That rotation does appear to be to the southeast of Zavala by a few miles, it appears. So, let's not do that. I do want to take a look at the correlation coefficient. Let me dual screen this because I do want to see the base velocity compared to correlation. Okay, I don't see any correlative drop between the two, so that doesn't appear that it's on the ground. One good thing about storms in Dixie Alley and such wooded areas is that you will immediately notice a CC drop due to debris in the sky. For anyone who doesn't know what CC drop is, it measures what's in the atmosphere, not just rain, but objects. So if you have blue like this, now this isn't the same because it's on the fringes of a storm, but if you had a big spot of dark blue, that is debris from the tornado, such as trees, buildings, houses, etc. Let's go back to single panel for now, and back to reflectivity. So again, if you're anywhere in, what county is this? Angelina County, San Augustine, and Saltbine County in Texas take shelter, especially if you're to the east of Zavala by about 5 or 6 miles. Brooklyn, want to keep an eye on this. It should pass your north, but still want to get to cover. Pineland, McGasco, and Bronson. Bronson should go to your south, but Pineland especially, and anywhere in that area, should be ready for this because this storm will be approaching in about 30 minutes. What website do we use? I use GR2 Analyst if you're asking what my radar is. GR2 Analyst is the radar I use. It's decently expensive, but it's 100% worth it. Get the most up-to-date radar, and pretty good. It's very customizable with color tables and everything like that. But again, if you're just joining us, we're covering the weather coverage in the southern United States today, from eastern Texas, central and southern Louisiana, and southern Mississippi. Right now, it's not the main risk. We only have one tornado warning at the moment, but the main risk will be occurring in the next few hours into the late evening, and especially into the early overnight hours. The biggest risk tonight will be wind damage from, I'd say, Alexandria south, Lake Charles, Beaumont, and east of Houston. Houston should be out of the risk within the next, I'd say, hour and a half, once these storms start moving to the east. New Orleans, especially New Orleans, even Hattiesburg, Baton Rouge, Livingston, all need to be ready for these storms tonight because these will pack a punch. These will 100% be what's what I'm looking for. They'll be packing a lot. But right now, minus this tornado warning here near Zavala and this cluster down near Donaldsonville, Thibodaux, and Morgan City, and a couple storms up near Hattiesburg. Let's actually go check on the Hattiesburg storm. Let me switch to Mobile radar. Or not Mobile radar, sorry. Pearl River radar. If it's going to work. Okay, let's try Mobile radar. We do know that I do believe 2 radars are down in the area at the moment. Yeah, that storm does still seem to be having quite the hail core on it. And it's moving quite rapidly. New Augusta, definitely getting inside, indoors, out of a mobile home, and be ready for these storms because these has some big hail in it. New Augusta, Richton, Runnelstown. I believe the storm will go to your east, but you still want to be cautious. McCollum, same thing, story with you. McLaurin, you're about to get in some heavy rain, but I don't believe there'll be hail for you. Beaumont, you might be outside of the warning, but I would still be cautious, considering this storm could move track more to the east than anticipated. Let's go back to the tornado warning storm. Let's go to Lake Charles radar. So the storm does still appear to be moving pretty fast. It does look like it's tracking a little more northward than the warning supposed. So Pineland, Fiasco still, but Bronson does seem to be under the gun with this. I'd expect it to be in Brunson in about 25 minutes. It does appear to be moving quite rapidly, and it still has rotation on it. Let's give that one more check here. There's still definitely rotation here to the east of Zavala. Luckily, this is a pretty rural area until you start getting to the highway. Then stuff will get those more towns along the road. But there's still definitely rotation, so I wouldn't expect this warning to be canceled quite yet. Let's go check. I do believe there's a new severe thunderstorm warning to the west of Houston. Let's see, find the right radar here. So, the severe thunderstorm warning. Just read off the prompt here. Alright. A severe thunderstorm warning for central Colorado County, north central Wharton County, southern Austin County, and southeastern Texas. At 3:32 p.m., a severe thunderstorm was located near Sublime, or 14 miles east of Hallettsville, moving east at 45 miles an hour. The hazards with this are 60-mile wind gusts and quarter-sized hail. This is all radar indicated. Hail damage expected to vehicles and wind damage to siding, roofing, and trees. Locations impacted include Eagle Lake, Sheridan, Altar, Garwood, Nada, and Rock Island. For your protection, move into an interior room on the lowest floor of a building and get away from windows. If you are in mobile homes, I would recommend getting to a safe, sturdy structure. Mobile homes will not protect you from strong winds and hail. So if you're along, I believe that's Highway, was that 98, I believe? Let me look here. That's one thing about this radar program I don't like, is they don't have the roads labeled. So I'm over here on my phone trying to find these roads. Sheridan, it should pass over you within the next 20 minutes, so you should be right in the middle of it at this point. So that is Highway 90A. So Rock Island, it should be there easily in the next 10 minutes. Altar, next 25. Eagle Lake, the next 30 to 40 minutes. Garwood, next 30 minutes in that area there. Now this is a very flat area, so you should see the storm coming. It won't just come right up on you like in Dixie Alley or the South. But the storm isn't, most of these storms are not moving very fast. Comparative to just normal 45-ish miles an hour seems to be about the average here today. So let's go back to that tornado warning storm, which is still moving. A little, again, still tracking northward, a little farther north than the warning box. I would actually expect it to go north of Pineland. So Pineland, still keep an eye out. Magasco, I would stay in your safe place. Bronson, stay in your safe place. This warning may be allowed to expire, which it wouldn't surprise me. There's a rotation, but it's not impressive. At the moment, at least. This storm does have a history of producing a tornado. It did produce one down near Livingston, to the east of Livingston, and near Shepherd as well. There were multiple tornado reports from spotters. But Pineland, I think it'll go just your north. Bronson, you'll probably get direct hit. Brooklyn, you should be okay, but just still be cautious at the moment. So let's go back to that Hattiesburg storm. Let's go to Mobile radar. The storm just does appear to be doing the same. I'd say about 5 to 10 minutes out from New Augusta. Beaumont, it should go the main part of the storm should go to your west. I do notice that the hail is not as intense. We did have black here about 10 minutes ago, but it does appear that that has subsided. It's still definitely packing a punch, so don't take that as, oh, we can now go outside. Still stay indoors. Still keep an eye on this. Golf ball sized hail is still indicated on this, but it's not what it was. If it continues on the track, it should begin to weaken unless it hits more energy. And again, that is New Augusta, north of Wiggins, and about a little bit southeast of Hattiesburg at the moment. Now, there is a report of almost 2-inch hail by emergency management, golf ball sized hail in Brooklyn, it had just passed over that about 10 minutes ago. Okay. So again, as I've stated earlier in the stream, it does appear that these are just some weak storms out in front, or not. I wouldn't say weak, but they're not going to be as major as the storms that will come to follow in the next few hours. I might end the stream here soon, and I'll be back live in a few hours into the evening. Again, just really the same stuff as it has been. The storms near Hattiesburg, to the north and east of Morgan City, near Napoleonville. That storm near to the west of Houston, near, I want to say that's Eagle Lake, sorry. Paralleling almost interstate. Almost paralleling the interstate here. Actually, that does look interesting. Let's check velocity there. There could be a weak couplet starting to form to the south of Rock Island. Maybe. It's not much now at all, but that could develop into something in the future. Now, we do have some higher indications of hail near Highway ADA to the east of Sheridan. Sheridan, you should be out of it now. Rock Island, you're just about to get in it. It's almost on top of you. Garwood, it might pass to your north. And Altair, just like Rock Island, you got about 10 minutes. Eagle Lake, about 20. I will take a 3D of the storm, because I am curious what this looks like. Not that. Alright, you can definitely see some inflow right in here. Let's check the... Yeah, it does seem to be about 30,000, 35,000 feet up, which is the top's reaching near 40. So that is something to note. So it's definitely packing some pretty large hail, I believe. But nothing like, I'd say, the biggest golf ball, max golf ball sized hail. But alright, I'm going to, that storm near Pineland, the tornado warning was allowed to expire. So that storm, I believe the rotation has died off, or at least below severe limits. So I'm going to end the stream for about a few hours until this really starts to ramp up. I'd say around the 7 to 8 o'clock. 7, 8 o'clock, yeah. We also do have some damage in Yoakum. Down tree, took down power lines near a railroad crossing. Emergency management, half-inch sized hail near Hallitsburg, emergency management. And there's still that storm south of Rock Island, heading towards Eagle Lake. Alright, I'm going to hop off for a few hours, and then I will be back here shortly. When I say shortly, a couple hours to when this really severe risk will hit its peak. But thank you for watching, everybody, and I hope to see you soon.